Show starts in 5 minutes.
Good evening, folks, and a hearty welcome to our drive-in theater. We have a wonderful evening's entertainment lined up for you, one that will provide several hours of pleasurable relaxation and diversion for you and your family. Did you fail to dress up for tonight's show? No tie, an old shirt and slacks, a house dress? Well, don't give it a thought. We're glad you came as you are. We just want you to enjoy yourselves.
Here's a new taste treat. The corn dog. Plump, juicy wieners are dipped in a thick, golden Southern-style corn batter that seals in all their freshness and flavor. If you like hot dogs, you'll love corn dogs. Everybody does. Try a corn dog with your favorite beverage. At the refreshment corner now. Corn dogs.
It's 4 minutes till showtime.
Yum, yum. It's time for a tasty and refreshing snack. We promise to satisfy your hunger, your thirst, your sweet tooth. So visit our refreshment center now. Let's go!
It's 3 minutes till showtime.
Men, there's a drive-in movie full of juicy people. Wow! It's a trap! Help! It's Pick! We've had it, men.
A pleasant aroma for you, but not for mosquitoes. Pick is easy to use. Light it and forget it. Pick's aroma keeps mosquitoes, gnats, and sandflies away. Pick is the best protection for barbecues, fishing and camping trips, or just relaxing in the yard.
So if you don't want our company ever anywhere, just light Pick and see what I mean? Bye!
Pick is on sale at the refreshment stand now. Show starts in 2 minutes.
Today we're interviewing a stomach.
Hello there.
What is life like as a stomach?
Oh, boy, it was humdrum. I mean, until what's-his-name discovered Tony's Pizza.
Tony's Pizza?
Yeah, I was suffering from the pizza cravings until Tony's came along. Crispy crust and zesty sauces. Wow.
And so now... What's that?
Another pizza craving. Just thinking about Tony sets it off.
Oh, where are you going?
He's going to get a Tony's Pizza, and I follow him anywhere.
Does your stomach send you pizza craving signals? Oh, wow. Tony's, the Pizza Cravers Pizza.
There are words men live by, words of strength, of wisdom, and of peace. We urge you to find the spiritual comfort and guidance we all so greatly need by attending your place of worship regularly.
Show starts in 1 minute.
Yum, yum. It's a meal in itself. Our all-meat super dog. Enjoy one now.
And now, on with the show.
Hey there, everybody. Welcome to the movie quiz. Just to start off, because we're talking about this in the chat, I just realized that the stomach in Tony's Pizza says, until what's his name found Tony's Pizza, which means that implies that the stomach does not know the name of the person who he's part of, which is strange because he can hear the person interviewing him, right? But he's never heard the person's. Okay, anyway, hi. Welcome to the last game of the mini game. Sorry, welcome to the last game of the mini season. This third section of season 13. It's our summer themed section of the movie quiz. Tonight we are going to be talking about, but not really, summer fashion. Tonight's game is all inspired by the words of different parts. You want to? Okay, we want to open the. We can open the portal. We're going to open the portal. So tonight's game is inspired completely by the names of different items of summer clothing. So you'll see what that means. So let's kick it off. Let's jump in with our first round of tonight's game, which is top tanks, not tank tops, but top tanks. Okay, which almost sounds like Tom Hanks, but it's not. All right, question number 1 in our tanks round, featuring a tank chase through the streets of St. Petersburg. What was the first James Bond movie to be shown in Russian cinemas? Was that From Russia with Love, Octopussy, The Living Daylights, or GoldenEye? This round is Mike's probably not picking it up, but it's raining pretty hard. So yeah, this round is doing it as a choose wisely. It's all multiple choice. Also, I apologize. I have not been keeping up with the standings, but I'll tally all of it up after tonight, and I'll release each week retroactively, and we'll bestow a Yaddle card. Someone will earn themselves a Yaddle card tonight. I've fallen behind on that, but I will. I'll put that all together. All right. So your answer here is GoldenEye. It was the first movie that came out after the fall of the Soviet Union, and it was the first movie the first Bond movie shown in Russia. All right, question number 2. Another European tank chase, this time on the Spanish island of Tenerife, is a tentpole stunt in which Fast and Furious movie? The last in the franchise that Paul Walker fully completed. Was that Fast 5, Fast and Furious 6, Furious 7, or Fate of the Furious? This movie has a tank chase in the Canary Islands, and it is the last one that Paul Walker shot all of his stuff for. The last one that he fully completed. No digital aid or anything like that. All right, so time is up for that one. Pretty even split in guesses between Fast 5 and Fast and Furious 6, but it was 6. 6 is the one with the tank chase. 7 was the one where he died while he was shooting it, and they had to finish it later, but 6 was the last one that he shot in its entirety. Question number 3. In the film Help, a priestess named, I'm still not saying it right, a priestess named Ame uses a tank to rescue the Fab Four from a cult trying to get a mystic piece of jewelry off the finger of, appropriately, which Beatle? Once again, and obviously your options are John Paul, George, or Ringo. In Help, a priestess named Ame uses a tank to rescue the Fab Four from a cult trying to get a mystic piece of jewelry off the finger of, appropriately, which Beatle? All righty, time is up for this question. It's appropriately this Beatle because it is a ring, and it is Ringo. Ringo is the one that the cult is after. It's like a sacrificial No, I don't. It's not. It's one of those movies you probably shouldn't revisit because there's a lot of problematic stuff. Looking back on it, with like their depictions of different cultures. It's from 1965, so not the best. All right, question number 4. Bradley Cooper gleefully fires a machine gun from a parachuting tank as which member of the A-Team in the over-the-top 2010 adaptation of the 80s action series? Was he Faceman, Howlin' Man Murdoch, Hannibal, or B.A. Baracus? This is like the only... I saw this movie in theaters, and this scene is like the only thing I actually remember about it. I think it was the only... It was like the main thing that they marketed was this tank scene. Tank falling out of a... I remember it being kind of enjoyable, though. Alrighty. Yeah, let's cancel Ringo. Let's cancel him right at the end. Right at the end of everything for Ringo. just take him out. Whoops. So this one, Bradley Cooper, the member of the A-Team that he plays is Faceman Templeton Faceman Peck. Hannibal was played by Liam Neeson. Liam Neeson played Hannibal in the A-Team movie. All right, question number 5. In The Interview, the movie that launched the cyber attack against Sony, what Korean-American actor plays a comedic version of dictator Kim Jong-un who bonds with James Franco's character while cruising around in a tank to Katy Perry's Firework? Was Kim Jong-un played by John Cho, Ken Jeong, Randall Park, or Stephen Yeun? Which Korean-American actor plays Kim Jong-un in The Interview? All right, so time is up. It was pretty much between, as far as guesses goes, it was completely between Ken Jeong and Randall Park, but it is Randall Park. Randall Park, who I think he put on, looking at the clips, I think he put on some weight to play Kim Jong-un because he's not usually as heavy set as he is in that film. All right, question number 6. What is the bellicose nickname of Brad Pitt's tank commander, Staff Sergeant John Collier in the World War II tank film Fury? Is his name War Daddy, Hangman, Sergeant Slaughter, or Death Dealer? What is the nickname of Brad Pitt's tank commander in Fury? Sorry, I'm just seeing in the chat that I'm being asked to tell Clara to go to bed. Go to bed, Clara. It's very late. You have this amount of time over here. You have 12 seconds, 11, 10. That's the amount of time you have to go and get yourself into bed. All right. So here we go. Let me take that timer. She's almost out of time, gang. Here we go. She's out of time. Time's up. And time's up for this question too. Your answer is War Daddy. War Daddy. Hangman was from one of the Top Guns. Sergeant Slaughter's from G.I. Joe. And Death Dealer was something else. I forget. All right. Question number 7. Which fictional country provides the tank that Indiana Jones has to save his father and Marcus Brody from in The Last Crusade? Hatay, Republic of Isthmus, Corto Maltese, or Zamunda? Which is the fictional country that provides the tanks for the for Walter Donovan? Walter Donovan. These are all actual real fakes from different movies and properties. All right, so Zamunda is Coming to America. Republic of Isthmus is also James Bond, but one of the Dalton one, the second Dalton one, License to Kill. Most people said Corto Maltese, but that is from the DC universe. That's from Batman. Hatai is the stand-in for Jordan in because they go to Petra at the end. That's where the Holy Grail is. Spoiler. And your final question of this round, the critically derided 1995 comic adaptation of Tank Girl starred which of these Rockford Peaches from A League of Their Own? Was it Gina Davis, Madonna, Rosie O'Donnell, or Lori Petty? Which one of them was in Tank Girl? The vastly inferior to A League of Their Own film, Tank Girl. Oh, and I also it's a cheap one, I guess, because it's Indiana Jones, but it's Harrison Ford. Indiana Jones still counts, right? Counts enough, I think. All right, so this one, the Tank Girl movie, it was a comic book. It was adapted into a movie in '95, and it starred Lori Petty. Lori Petty is your answer. All right, so that brings us to the end of round one. Let's take a look at our scores and standings here. After the first round, everybody doing pretty solidly. We've got a lot of fours. We got Gimme Ham on 5, Hold the Mayo, Short Bus, Stallone, Trivia Rocks, and Looney Tunes all with 4. Avis and Bobo, Sterling Cooper, and Chris the Curator all with 5. And tied with perfect 8s to start the game is Helsinki Syndrome, Han Still Solo, and Marley's Chains. All right, so that brings us to our second round, our picture round. And this one is fun. I'm excited about this one. This one is called The Short and Long of It. The Short and Long of It. So, and I chose, I'm always pointing the wrong way. I chose this picture of Roller Girl because she's got a picture, but it's thematically on point because what I'm going to show you are images from short films that later became feature films. Okay, so your job is to name the feature film. All right, so and Boogie Nights is one of those. It's not in the round, but Boogie Nights was a short film called The Dirk Diggler Story that then became a full-fledged feature. All right, so if the name of the short is different, but you name the feature, the well-known feature. All right, so here we go. Let's open it up. Take a look at these 8 movies. You name the feature-length film, and good luck, everybody. All right, I'm popping in to tell you got 3 minutes, but also to give you a heads up on number 6, because it's a little abstract, maybe a little hard to see. And the movie that it was adapted into is not in black and white. The short was in black and white. The feature is not. And that is, if you can't make out what that is a monstrous hand grabbing a glass of milk from behind a basement door. So if you can't tell what that is, that's what that is. The feature's in color, the short's in black and white. So use that info as you will. and hopefully that helps if you can't make out that image, because it is a little hard to see. You're just approaching the halfway mark of the timer. You got about 2 minutes left to go. All right, you got just about a minute left. Just about a minute. So I'm going to hang out here. Thirty seconds. All right, I'm about to start that timer. 15 seconds on the clock starts now. So if you have not submitted, do so. Or if you want to change anything, now is the time to do that. That is just about time. All right, so you had these 8 films in front of you. These were the short films that were eventually turned into a feature-length film. So your first one, I'm going to read off your the answers and then show you your results. The first one, that's J.K. Simmons screaming. Hopefully that told you that was Whiplash. Number 2, that is a very young Taika Waititi as a vampire in the short film version of What We Do in the Shadows. Number 3, that is a bunch of Tetris aliens in Pixels, the original short film Pixels. Number 4, that is the only one. Well, actually, no. One of these went from animation to live action. The other went from live action to animation when it became a feature. This one, that is Milton. These are Mike Judge's Milton shorts that ultimately became Office Space. Number 5, that's the reverse bear trap from Saw. A lot of these were shot as like proof of concept for the movies, including Saw. They were like, check this gruesome stuff out, what we can do. Number 6, the one that I gave you a clue about, and it seemed to help. A few teams got it. This is a short film called Monster, and that hand reaching up, that belongs. He's not named this in the Monster short, but that is the Babadook reaching up. So that movie became Babadook. Number 7. That is Frankenweenie. That is which went from live action to animated. And the other one, this one was tough. A lot of people guessed Pineapple Express, but this is a short film called Jay and Seth versus the Apocalypse, which got turned into This Is the End. This Is the End is the last one. So that one was tough. Lots of people got Whiplash, Saw, and Frankenweenie. The lowest one was This Is the End. But overall, pretty solid, nicely done. All right, so let's keep it rolling into our lightning round here. The lightning round. So your shorts, by the way, shorts was the summer fashion thing in the last round. We've had tanks, shorts, and now we've got bikini. This round is called Beyond the Bikini Atoll: Atomic Monsters. This one is all about monsters and ghouls and villains made from atomic testing and nuclear blasts. All right, so here you go. I'm going to describe these, and you have to tell me the locations. Okay, name the following locations where nuclear bomb tests and detonations resulted in the presence of monsters. 1. Name the Asian city terrorized by Godzilla after he's awoken and fueled by nuclear bomb testing. I'm talking about the original Godzilla, the Asian city. 2, the U.S. state where nuclear bomb tests created giant ants in them and mutant cannibals in the remake of The Hills Have Eyes. So I'm looking for a city, then a state. Number 3, the ruins of what New York City religious landmark where the telepathic mutants hold their nuclear bomb worship services and end up blowing up the world in Beneath the Planet of the Apes. And number 4, the major line of latitude where a bomb test awakens the creature in The Beast from 20,000 Fathoms. All right, so we've got a few different locations that to go over, a few different, where am I? A few different locations, types of locations, but you name each one of these is the location where a monster was created by nuclear fallout. All right, so 1.5 minutes on the clock for this one. Good luck. Don't forget to hit submit. Order does count. Order does count. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, guys, you got about 30 seconds left. Where the one that I wanted? It's not that. It's not that either. All right, you got about 30 seconds to name these 4 locations. A little less now. 20 seconds. All right, I'm going to put time on the clock. And 15 seconds on the clock starting now. So don't forget to hit submit. All right. Time is up for this nuclear monsters round. So your first one, the Asian city where Godzilla, that's terrorized by Godzilla, that is Tokyo. Tokyo is your answer. Number 2, the state where nuclear testing creates giant ants in them, and also in the remake, they changed the state from the original Wes Craven movie to the remake. But everyone was split pretty much evenly between Nevada and New Mexico. It was New Mexico. New Mexico. The religious, the religious, what do you call it? Landmark in New York City, where the mutants are in Beneath the Planet of the Apes. That's St. Patrick's Cathedral. And the major line of latitude in the old movie, which actually predates Godzilla. It's the Arctic Circle. It's the Arctic Circle. That is your major line of latitude. All right, so let's take a look at. Did I do the thing where I don't grade you? I did the thing where I don't grade you. There we go. I did grade you for the last round, though, right? I did. Yeah, I did. Okay. So let's take a look at your scores and standings here at roughly the halfway point of the game. Not doing the double points question tonight because since it's the end of the mini season, if you haven't doubled yet, I'm going to do it for you. So I'll take care of that. All right. Gimme Ham on 5 and Stallone with 7 apiece. Trivia Rocks with 8. Luna Tunes with 10. Short Bus and Chris the Curator with 11. Avis and Bobo with 12. Marley's Chains with 13. Helsinki Syndrome and Han Still Solo and Sterling Cooper Roland Deli Bets now all tied with 16 at the top of the leaderboard. So that brings us to our puzzle round. I think it's going to be a pretty fun one. So we've had, what have we had? We've had tank tops, shorts, bikinis. Now we've got sunglasses. This round's all about characters who wear sunglasses. So the way it's going to work is I've got 8 images for you. Mostly they're just single images. That's like a visual clue that of a character, an iconic character who is usually seen wearing sunglasses. Okay. So it'll be a visual clue, and I'm also going to show you an image of their sunglasses superimposed over it. Okay. And you name the character. So for all of these, the answer is going to be a character. Okay. So we'll start it off, I think, pretty easily. What character is this? The image should tell you something, and those are I'm always pointing them the wrong way. Those are the character sunglasses. That's an image of that character's sunglasses. So who is this? Who is this famous sunglasses wearing character? Some of the images will be very direct like this. Some of them will be a little more abstract. I left the studio somehow. Hang on. Hang on, gang. Let me fix this. Let me fix my mess. The mess of hitting the back button. All right, there it is. All right. So let's put the time on the clock now. Was I still pointing the wrong way? Or maybe I froze? Did I freeze when I left the studio? Because all my stuff vanished when I came back. It was very alarming. All right. So this one is pretty straightforward, I think. Don't overthink this one too much. That is a razor blade. And I'm looking for Blade. Those are Blade sunglasses. Blade sunglasses and a blade. Blade is your character. All right, here we go. Here comes question number 2. What does that image tell you? And up there is the character's sunglasses. Most of the sunglasses images I found on like eBay and stuff like you can actually buy their they're mostly like sale sites where you can actually buy these characters' sunglasses. All right, so you had these. I also made the sunglasses glowing green a little bit as a little extra hint there. You've got those sunglasses, and who wears them? Well, that's an image. That's an image of the Holy Trinity. Trinity is your answer that I'm looking for on this one. All right, question number 3, character number 3. Who's this? No, I would never use AI. I made these. I do my own stealing of images off the internet without proper attribution. Thank you very much. And then I Photoshop them. Alrighty. All right. So for this one, we've got Dallas. We've got a Dallas basketball jersey. And who is the basketball team that plays in Dallas? That is the Mavericks. Mavericks. And you got Mavericks aviator. So look, I did it right this time. Mavericks aviator sunglasses over there. All right. Question number 4. Here it is. I did point the right way. I can see myself pointing. Well, I see it as that's so it's not showing me. That's weird. Okay. So when I was doing it wrong, I was doing it right. I don't like that. I'm just going to stop. I'm just going to stop pointing because now I'm confused. Now I'm confused and sad and mad too. I don't like any of it. All right. So this image, you got these pink sunglasses, and which are here apparently. And you've got Tiger Woods taking an L. You've got L Woods. L Woods is your answer on this one. All right, gang, we're halfway through. Yeah, I mean, this is my personal puzzle round, is trying to figure out how directions work. All right, your next question, your next character is here. Remember, the image is just, it's not of the character, it's just of, it's loosely connected to the character in a way, but the sunglasses are directly that character's sunglasses. The character that I'm looking for, it's their sunglasses. All right, time is up. So this one was trickier than I thought it would be. So a lot of people, that's Evel Knievel, and a lot of people guessed because Evel Knievel, it's Dr. Evil, but no, Dr. Evil doesn't wear sunglasses, and he doesn't wear red sunglasses. But what is Dr. Evil? What is Evel Knievel? He is a daredevil. He is. I'm doing it again. He is a daredevil. Is what Evel Knievel is, and those are the red sunglasses. Those aren't, well, Ben Affleck's not wearing those red sunglasses. That's, I guess these are more the Charlie Cox sunglasses that I got the image of, but you can see Matt Murdock right there. All right, question number 6. All righty. So this one, probably one of the harder ones in the round. You have to look a little close. A good amount of teams got it. So this is an MTV show that I don't think I've ever seen a moment of, but I've like passed. It's like, or maybe I have. It's like, oh, it's on in like jury duty room or somewhere. But it's a show called Ridiculousness, and I covered up the front end of that word, which is Riddick, and those are Riddick's sunglasses. Vin Diesel from Pitch Black and the Chronicles of Riddick. All right, and the other one. All right, here is this. This is probably going to give it away, but the answer is not just one character. The answer for this one is not one lone character. The image is not one lone character, and neither is the answer. All righty. So yeah, I took I took a couple of correct answers, a couple of different ways to phrase this. So you got Batman, you got Zorro, who is clinging to Batman there, which I like. And it looks like Darth Vader's throwing the sunglasses, or maybe he's pulling them in with the Force. But Batman, Zorro, and Darth Vader are all Men in Black. They are all Men in Black. But if you put Agent J and Agent K, that's fine too, because they are the Men in Black. It's basically who I was looking for. All right, and your final puzzle of this round. This one's probably the toughest, I think. All right, so far only one team has gotten it. I knew it would be the hardest one. That's why I saved it for the end. All right, so those you've got the there. I'm not gonna point. With they're kind of clear with reddish reflective lenses, and they belong to a character who shares a name with this guy. This is last name Trotsky, first name Leon. Leon, the professional, is your that's the one I'm looking for. Leon Trotsky should lead you to Leon from The Professional. All right, so that brings us to the we're on the doorstep here of the double points round. Let's take we've got Gimme Ham on 5 and Trivia Rocks both with 9. A Stroke of Genius has 1. Stallone with 12. Chris the Curator with 14. Avis and Bobo with 15. Short Bus and Looney Tunes with 16. Marley's Chain 17. Sterling Cooper with 20. Han Still Solo with 22. And the Helsinki Syndrome with 24. So that brings us to our double points round, where we're going to be talking about It's sort of piggybacking off what we talked about Cutthroat Island last week. This one's about flipping flops. We got flops. I've got double points questions for you about movies that have all adjusted for, they've either straight up lost over $100 million or they lost $100 million adjusted for inflation. All right. So here we go. Here is your double points round. Question number 1. Friday Night Lights star Taylor Kitsch double bombed in the summer of 2012 with which 2 top 10 money losing films of all time? All 3 of these are in the top 10, but which 2 had Taylor Kitsch? Mortal Engines, Battleship, John Carter. All right. So, yeah, he was on a real heater, Kitsch in 2012 when he was in John Carter, which is the biggest money loser of all time, and he was also in Battleship, which is rough summer. All right, question number 2. Which 2 bodies of the solar system appear in the titles of 2 of the biggest flops of all time? One, a Disney mocap film starring Seth Green. The other, a live-action Eddie Murphy comedy. Your options are Mars, Saturn, Pluto. Yeah, do feel bad for Taylor Kitsch. He didn't deserve to tank that bad. Part of what happened with John Carter actually had to do with one of these movies. I'm pointing again. I shouldn't. It had to do with one of these movies because it was called John Carter of Mars in the Edgar Rice Burroughs novels. But Disney lost a whole bunch of money on Mars Needs Moms. And they were like, well, Mars, the word Mars is clearly the problem here. It's not that the movie sucks ass. It's that people just don't like Mars. So they just made it John Carter, which could be about anybody or anything. All right. So, and the other one is The Adventures of Pluto Nash. All right. Question number 3. Which 2 of these duds were part of the DC Extended Universe continuity, aka the Snyderverse? Your options are Wonder Woman 84, The Flash, and Joker Folie à Deux. All 3 big stinkers, big money losers. But which 2 were in the one of them? It's not really totally its fault. Which I'll also get into later. Some of the other. Yeah, Flash is okay. Just because, I mean, I'm more when I'm calling them stinkers and duds. Some of them are straight up stinkers and duds, but some of them are, I'm just referring to the fact that they tanked. They tanked bad. But one of them, it wasn't really its fault. It was a COVID release. That's Wonder Woman 1984. And The Flash just, I think, the problem is you look at the list of all these movies that have lost the most money over time. Almost exclusively, they are in the 21st century because they're just throwing money away. It's like, you're never going to make this money back. So like, of course your, was it, I don't even remember. I remember Pedro Pascal without a beard. And that's why he says he hated how he looked. So he'll never not have a beard again. All right. Question number 4. Which 2 Oceans trilogy co-stars gave the lead vocal performances in the films Sinbad, Legends of the Seven Seas, and Titan A.E., movies that bombed so hard it said they hastened the demise of 2D animation? One of the Sinbad, and your options are Brad Pitt, Matt Damon, George Clooney. Sinbad especially, it's said that was like the reason DreamWorks completely abandoned 2D animation. I don't think they've made one since. All right. So the two, the Sinbad, the one that torpedoed 2D animation at DreamWorks, that was Brad Pitt, and Titan AE, which I remember watching, came out in 2000 ish. I remember that wasn't so bad. George Clooney was not in those, but he was in another film that's on the list of the biggest bombs of all time, which is Tomorrowland. Tomorrowland was a huge money loser for Disney. Most of these are also, if you look at the list of all these movies that have lost the most money, they are mostly Disney. Disney just loves to throw money down the toilet. All right, question number 5, including in this movie, en route to losing Disney almost $150 million, Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny took Indy to which 2 countries we had never seen him visit in a feature film before? Greece, Morocco, and Italy. He visits all 3 of these in Dial of Destiny, but which 2 had we never seen him in before? All right. So I think everybody got Greece on this. I knew that that Indy had never gone to Greece, but looks like a lot of teams forgot that in Last Crusade, a big chunk of Last Crusade takes place in Venice. He's been to Italy before, but he has not been to Morocco. He's been to other parts of Northern Africa, like Egypt, but not Morocco until Dial of Destiny. All right. Question number 6. Will Smith's golden run of the 90s hit a bump with which 2 turn of the millennium films that both lost over $60 million, more than $100 million adjusted for inflation? Your options are The Wild Wild West in 99, Legend of Bagger Vance in 2000, and Ali in 2001. Which 2 of those lost? One lost 63 million, one lost 66 million. Adjusted for inflation by $2025, it's over 100. All right. So this one was apparently very tricky. This is the first time that I think almost everybody got wiped out on the fake answer, because Wild Wild West is one of them. Wild Wild West lost. It was kind of successful, but it was just too expensive and lost a lot of money. But the other one that lost over 60, it lost more than Wild Wild West, was Ali. Ali lost a ton of money. Legend of Bagger Vance, I think it's not on the list. I think it just didn't cost that much. And it probably did okay. But look at that. Almost everybody went with Bagger Vance. But Ali was actually a big money loser, which was interesting. All right. Question number 7. Though all of these Pixar films were well received and nominated for Best Animated Feature Oscars, they all lost over $100 million, largely because of pandemic shutdowns. Which 2 of them originally forewent a theatrical run and debuted straight to Disney Plus? Your options are Onward, Soul, and Turning Red. So they were all affected by the pandemic. They all lost $100 million or more, even though they were they're beloved and critically successful. But which 2 of them did not start with a theatrical run? They all got like post-pandemic re-releases. All right. So I was actually talking about this this question was sort of based on a conversation I was having the other day about how one of these movies, the one that actually started, it only got like a week in the theater. It came out like early March of 2020, and it actually is like, it never occurred to me, it's kind of one of the most consequential films in this way, which was that when everything shut down, it's Onward is the odd one out, by the way. Soul and Turning Red went straight to Disney Plus, but Onward started in the theaters, got about a week into its run, then shut down, and then Disney said, okay, you know what, screw it, we're just going to throw it onto Disney Plus, which kind of changed the course of how they used Disney Plus and how just the streaming model, like it was shortly after that Warner Brothers put all their movies from 2021, like day and date release on HBO Max. All right, and your final question of this round, despite generally being reliable box office juggernauts, which two directors have made more than one film that lost over $100 million when adjusted for inflation? Your options are Steven Spielberg, Christopher Nolan, Robert Zemeckis. So all three big money makers. Two of them have more than one film that's lost more than 100 adjusted for inflation. All righty. So time is up for this one. Most people went with Zemeckis, and Zemeckis has a couple. Allied lost on, like, how does Allied, the movie with Brad Pitt and Marion Cotillard, I don't even know how that like costs $100 million even with marketing. And the other one is Christmas Carol, the mocap Christmas Carol nightmare that lost over $100 million. And the other one is Spielberg. West Side Story lost over $100 million, and so did the BFG. So kind of a tough run there. Nolan, as far as I could tell, if my research is lacking, let me know. But Tenet lost a bunch of money because of the pandemic. That's the only one that he has on the list. He's also got he's got a much shorter filmography than the other two. All right. So no, hang on. So that brings us to our last section of the game. Let's see where the scores are as we head into the Blitz. We got Stroke of Genius with 5 on 5 with 14, Trivia Rocks with 15, 21, Short Bus 22, Avis and Bobo and Looney Tunes with 25, Marley's Chains and Sterling Cooper with 31, Han Still Solo with 35, and Helsinki Syndrome with 38. All right, so that brings us to the post-credits Blitz. You know the score. You're all regulars. I've got 3 pairs of questions for you. One that's a little harder, I think. That's worth 2. The easier one is worth 1. You decide which one you want to order. To order? To answer. What am I? My brain ain't working so good. All right. For your first one here for 1 point, hearkening back to the short films that became features, name the 2009 Blomkamp, the 2009, I'm going to point to it. What I think this is right, but you say it's not. Name the 2009 Neil Blomkamp feature film about aliens in South Africa based on his short film Alive in Joburg. Or for 2 points, name the 2015 Neil Blomkamp feature about a robot in South Africa based on his short film Tetraval. So he's got 2, at least 2. I don't know if he also did Elysium. I don't know if that was based on a short film that he did. Question about if Clara went to bed. From what I can hear out there, it sounds like no. I don't know what she's up to. She came home exhausted. She was out today with her grandparents. I have a sneaking suspicion that she napped. All right, so the aliens in South Africa, all this takes place in Johannesburg. That's District 9, and the other is Chappie. Chappie is the robot. More people got the 2-pointer. Everyone went for the 2-pointer. It was a pretty easy 2-pointer. All right, question number 2. Pair of questions. Number 2. Name the 2021 Lana Wachowski movie that lost over $100 million, partially because of pandemic closures, or For 2 points, name the 2015 Wachowski Sisters movie with a planet in the title that lost over $100 million, mostly because it wasn't very good. So you got 2 Wachowski-related money losers, both that kind of harken back to previous questions. Money losers with a planet in the title, money losers that lost money because of the pandemic. All right, so for this one, I think another pretty easy 2-pointer, I think. Especially because most people went for it. The 1-pointer, that's Matrix Resurrections, the 4th Matrix movie, lost money. It also wasn't all that great, but partially because it was on HBO Max. But Jupiter Ascending is the 2015 one. So nicely done. All right, and our final pair of questions, questions for tonight's game. For 1 point, I had to mention the Terminator when talking about the sunglasses. What kind of group does the T-800 take his iconic leather jacket and sunglasses from in Terminator 2 Judgment Day? So what is that? What kind of group is that he takes it from? And 2, what's the profession of the person who the T-800 gets his iconic leather jacket and sunglasses from in Terminator 3 Rise of the Machines? I think I've phrased these oddly. There's some kind of syntax error there. But it's like a group of people in Terminator 2, and it's a single person in Terminator 3. What does that person do for a living? This is a better 2-pointer, I think. Because who the hell remembers Terminator 3? One person remembers Terminator 3. It's an embarrassing scene. It's terrible. It's really quite awful, this scene. If you don't remember this scene in Terminator 3, you're lucky. Don't try to remember it. It's not worth it. So he takes his glasses and his suit from a bunch of biker gang in T2, and he takes it from an exotic dancer, a male stripper in Terminator 3. A guy who's like talk to the hand, and then the Terminator walks out and he puts the little like star sunglasses on, and it's goofy and hilarious. All right, so that's the end. That's the end of the game. Nicely done, everybody. Hope you had a fun time. Great game tonight. So let's see where everybody ended up scores wise. Stroke of Genius with 5, Trivia Rocks with 16. Give me Ham on 5 with 17, Stallone with 20, Luna Tunes and Chris the Curator with 26, Short Buzz 27, Evans and Bobo 29, Marley's Chains and Sterling Cooper tied with 36, Han Still Solo with 39, and the Helsinki Syndrome, who knew they remembered Terminator 3, so they got 2 points at the end, winning the game with 44. All right, so that's the end of this summer-themed mini season. The next game will be in 2 weeks. We'll take next week off. I've got my live game. The next mini season is going to be it's going to be 3 straight weeks, but one of them is going to have to be at 9:30 because my in-person game picks up. It's going to be doing every other week. So I'll do the off weeks, but 1 week I'll have to be 9:30. I'll let you know. And then the championship game, championship / 5th anniversary. I can't talk either. I got to get my brain checked out. The championship, 5th anniversary, and 150th game will all be on October 1st. All right. So have a great one, everybody. I'll get all the standings for the last 3 weeks done and post them in the next couple days. And I will see you in 2 weeks. McClunky.